What's up guys, Bluddshed here. Now people always ask me, what build do you recommend? So I thought I would do a series before the season, just talking about some of my favorite builds for each class here. Now, these are slated for Diablo 3, patch 2.7.0 and season 23. If you don't know, they're adding filters for the leaderboards next season. So you can be on the leaderboard with Trigul, Rathma, Pestilence, all the different Necro sets, and Legacy of Dreams or Lawn, like a no set. So it provides more diversity across the board for everybody and technically more competition, as there'll be way more leaderboards, way more chances to compete. So in this video, I'm going to show some of my favorite Necromancer builds. We do have a few starters out on the channel, so I'm going to get to all the starters. I thought I would just kind of break it up with these types of videos. I've been wanting to make these for a while now. If you need builds, my website's going to be updated with the tier list for each individual class. It will be updated before the season starts. As of right now, it's still logged into season 22 because that's what's active. Also really quick, if I could get a like on the video, as it helps the YouTube algorithm tremendously. It's a constant battle with them. So let's start off with Rathma, the Bones of Rathma. Now this set got completely redesigned this season. It went through the motions. It was an Army of the Dead set, and that got changed. Now it's a Bone Spirit set. You kind of stay back and you're this like elite sniper build, but you do kill density. Like it does blow up enough to kind of kill the density, and you group them up with Army of the Dead now. I will change the top comment, but the PTR is over with. I would say that there's an extremely high chance, like 99.99, that nothing's gonna change with the set. But again, if it does, I'll pin the top comment and take care of you, so don't worry. And you can always check the website. You go on bloodshed.com like we talked about, and click on Rathma, and it'll take you to the latest version of the build. This build has a little bit of controversy also. A lot of people do not like this playstyle. It's very similar to Bone Spirit, only slower, but it's S tier power. It's really strong. It has tons of potential, and we only had a few days with it, like a weekend and a few days, basically. Less than 1 week we had with this build. So there might be a meta that we haven't found yet. There might be some hidden builds there, hidden gems there that might crop up in the middle of the season. So I would definitely hold on to my Rathma gear, even if you don't like the build, because you never know, you might end up playing it just to try it out. This build is on the list, not just because it's one of the stars of the patch, but because it is technically different, and Rathma hasn't even been used in so long. Like the set has been on the shelf for what, years now? So it's nice to actually be, it's an S tier build. So it's nice that it's in the forefront. We wish it was Army of the Dead. Maybe they'll revert the changes or put the multiplier back, and that way we can use Army of the Dead and it can actually be viable, at least for speeds. The speed build used to be like you can port around and group them up and blow things up. So that's Rathma in the trailer of D4, right? So yo, we gotta do Rathma justice, okay? If he's gonna be there with Lilith, Blessed Mother, then we gotta get Rathma into ass-kicking mode. Either way, it's gonna be the Haedrig's gift for season 23, so you're gonna get the set no matter what. And I will have a starter video out for Necromancer Rathma. I'm just, again, waiting for those final patch notes, but I thought it was enough to put in this video because it'll give you a taste of maybe what to expect. All right, let's talk about the next build on the list, and it's arguably one of my favorite builds in the game. It's maybe like top 15 favorite build, the Bone Spear Necromancer. Now, this is like an elite sniper build, and it's not for everybody, but I love the Briggs Wrath version of the build. It's not the strongest, but it's the funnest for me. And that's kind of what this list is. Things that I think are fun, things that I would recommend to my friends, to my community. Because of the nature of the build, it's a pretty tanky setup, like the way we have it. And you kind of just port around, group up enemies, build up your attack speed, jump out, and then you throw these bone spears across the field. And it's faster than Bone Spirit. There's no kind of bone conga line flying through. It's just, it's cool, man. It does more damage each enemy it passes through. So there's a little bit of thinking involved as you're trying to line up your spears to do more damage to get enemies. And with Briggs Wrath, they're grouped up anyway, so you're gonna probably pass through a lot of enemies in the process. Bone Spear is great for speeds, for bounties. It's really versatile. I think Bone Spear kicks ass, and it's S tier build along with Rathma. They're very, very close in power. I could see it going either way on which set is the best. But again, there's individual leaderboards for each set. So even if Rathma or Bone Spear is weaker or stronger than each other, they're on separate leaderboards now, right? I mean, there is an overall leaderboard, but they're on separate leaderboards, so you're pretty much okay with that. If you haven't had a chance to check out Bone Spear Necro, I definitely recommend you do, as it just came out last season, so it's still moderately fresh. You might have skipped a season or two and never even known about this build yet. All right, let's go to one of my personal favorites, another personal fave. What blood? You like 2 Necromancer builds? This one is called the Legacy of Nightmares, so it uses the Lawn Gem, Corpse Explosion. Now, within the last few patches also, they buffed the Corpse Explosion skill, and they buffed the Corpse Explosion gauntlets to give 500% increased damage. And I didn't get a chance to main this because the season that Poison Scythe came out, so did this build. So I went with Poison Scythe, we played hardcore, got rank 1, ended up dying on another push, and then I started playing another class because I know I put every class on the leaderboard every season. I don't just play one class, I just bounce around and play everything. And that's why I guess these videos are good for me, because I play everything. And then I was gonna play Corpse Explosion the next season, and what happened? Boom, we got the Bone Spear set. So that's back-to-back times where I was gonna play Lawn Corpse Explosion and got cucked. So, but it's a good problem to have, right? If you're getting new stuff, it's not a bad thing. So this season for Necro, I'm definitely gonna make a Lawn Corpse Explosion and put that butt on the leaderboard now that we got their own leaderboard as well. This is a famous Necromancer 2-minute cooldown build in the A tier, so it's really good. It's up there with like Juliana's, Leapquake Barb. It's really powerful. I know people hate 2-minute cooldown builds, and so do I, to be honest. But I feel like with this build, you get rewarded, right? Because it's such a big boom 4th of July type of explosion build that the payoff is worth the wait. And in the meantime, I just kind of go around, as you can see in the footage, and I kind of gather up mobs and pop the Land of the Dead, spam Corpse Explosion, hold that baby down, kill everything. And then once Land of the Dead's over, there's tons of corpses left over, and the Johnstone gives you a bonus. So even when Land of the Dead is over, you still have residual corpses on the battlefield, just doing tons of damage and killing everything. So big fan of this build. It's one of my favorites, and I'm finally get to play it. So I'm gonna play it next season for Necro, in addition to Rathma and Bone Spear. I'm probably gonna try to put everything on the leaderboard and be on every leaderboard for hardcore next season. If I have time willing, right? If I have the time, that's one of my goals. You'll probably be playing Corpse Explosion at least for leveling, right? Because you get Corpse Explosion really early around level 4, and you get your gauntlets. It's the only gauntlets you can get at level 1 that give you a multiplier. So you're probably going to be using Corpse Explosion at least while leveling. And then once you hit 70, you could actually make a LOD build out of it early to then get you your early game progress. It's really good. So even if you don't main it, I could see people getting a little taste of what it's like early season. The Let's Plays will be back next season. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know what you think. I will do one for every class and just talk about some of my favorite builds, maybe 3 or 4 of my favorite builds for every single class. Just let me know in the comments down below. I will be streaming all season 23 long, and the Let's Plays are coming back on YouTube, so you'll see the leveling process, you'll see the early game process. When it gets to the monotony of just farming keys or just farming augments, I will stop it and just show the pushes. It might be more interesting than ever before because we have 6 leaderboards per class. So for instance, I'm gonna start with Wizard, and then we'll put all 5 sets on the leaderboard plus the lawn set, right? I'll be like maybe top 10 with all of them, top 50 with all of them, because I don't have time to do augments, right? Like that's way too much. And then I will delete everything and then make another class like Necro, then put all 5, 6 things on the leaderboard again and just show the pushes after a certain point. Because it is really interesting when you're leveling, when early gearing is really important. How do I min-max? What do I roll for? And the early game progression, and then I'll cut it off and just show pushes. So then you'll see like 2 to 3 hour Let's Plays every day. So next season's gonna be packed with Let's Plays. I hope you guys are ready. I took a season off from doing it. I got tons and tons of feedback to bring them back. So I brought back the starter builds and I brought back the Let's Plays for the community. I got you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Let me know. That's gonna be all for me today. This is Bloodshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.